and we got 1 minute to count down. Everybody, we're so blessed and happy to have Steve Behrman tonight, which is Swami Beyondenanda. Let's have a big fat round of applause for Swami tonight. Fantastic. Everybody mute themselves and get ready for the laughter of COVID. I mean, this is Jeff Eichen here, and I'm going to come back so you can see me, everybody. But the cool thing is that I also am Swami Jeff tonight. I got my Swami hat on, and so we can't be outdone by the master himself. So tonight, I want everybody to give a round of applause for our lovely Steve Behrman, Swami Beyondenanda. He's fantastic, and we've been waiting a long time to get some comedy in the house here. Please go to our brown paper tickets and stay here afterwards, and we'll all be able to ask some questions. Type some questions in tonight that you want to have Steve answer, some cosmic questions, okay? Be sure they're cosmic, but we're going to be streaming live here, brown paper tickets, and on both of our Facebook pages. So decide where you want to come in, but afterwards we're going to have a freaking after party. So take it away, Steve. Everybody give a round of applause. Round of applause, everybody. Yeah, for Steve Behrman.
Very good. I see that we are both turbine powered tonight. So we got great determination, and that's very good. I like the whole idea of the COVID co-video. We're doing a COVID co-video. You're videoing, I'm videoing. Now, I'll tell you, it is great to be here, and guess what? We have no choice, because no matter where we are, we're always here, and it is always now. So, who would like to be in the now more? Too late? Already done? If you want to be in the now, you have to be very, very quick, but I predict that living in the now will be the wave of the future, and time itself will become a thing of the past. And it's already happening. It's already happening. I know this because I was a futurist in a past life. The calendar's days are numbered. Of course, now I spend all of my time in the timeless now. I think they call that Alzheimer's. And in these very, very interesting times, I cannot tell whether I am in the fifth dimension or the first dementia. I'm not certain about that. Now, here we all are. It has been a very, very interesting time for us all. And many people are having to put shelter in place. And, you know, if you're sheltering in place with your loved ones, I have to tell you, if your loved ones are still your liked ones, then you're doing just great, okay? Now, I'm seeing other people on the screen. Is that right? Am I supposed to be seeing somebody else, or am I on the screen?
You are on the screen. You are on the screen, Giant. Yes, you are on the screen, Giant.
Oh,
and you look great. You look great.
I don't want to hog the screen. But I'll tell you, this is the perfect time. Now, of course, we have to be positive. We have to be positive in these times. We have to look on the bright side, no matter what. You're finding it challenging to be in this lockdown. It's all about attitude and perspective. You say lockdown, that is a downer. That's a downer. I say we're locked up, that is an upper. Okay, I feel much better having said that. And you know, I have found that the social distancing thing, I figured I would take it to the limit. I had this excursion planned across the galaxy. That's what I call social distancing. It's the perfect distance at social distancing. And of course, I went through the center of the Milky Way, and you will not guess what I saw at the center of the Milky Way. Chewy nougat. Of course, I thought it was just Three Musketeers, but I was wrong. And I can hear your snickers right there. I can hear those snickers. And so we are in this challenging time, and people are feeling rather frustrated about it. And people are asking, they're turning to the sky, they're saying, is this the hand of God at work, or just the middle finger? People are wondering about that. And in fact, things are so challenging that people are actually wondering. They're talking about, they're getting nostalgic for the George Bush years. Imagine that. Remember back then where people said, cheer up, it could be worse? And boy, were they right. It is. Well, in these challenging times, people are actually talking about the end times. The end times. In fact, I met a man a few years ago who was disappointed and depressed because the rapture didn't happen. I said, no, so the rapture didn't happen. It's not the end of the world, right? Okay. But I had to go to the Bible. I went to the Bible just because I had to see what it said about these end times. And you won't believe it. The book of Revelation said a sign that the last days are near. It says, and the last trump shall blow. They say that's not funny. Many people are saying, yes, Trump blows. Yes, he does. But I would say that this is that he really is actually America's balloon karma payment, because we have lived, all of us, our entire so-called civilization, for 5,000 years has lived under the rule of the lowest common denominator, and the golden rule has been overruled by the rule of gold. Well, you know the rule of gold rule: do unto others before they can do unto you. And this, my friends, has left us with a lot of residue. So the challenge of this very evolutionary time.
Had to do it.
That came from Flushing, New York. I know that's somebody listening in Flushing. Okay, that's good. It's left us with a lot of residue. So this is the challenge of our times. Can we undo the doo-doo that has been done, or will the done doo-doo be our undoing? And so Donald Trump has done us all a favor. He has taken everything that has been underground, right? Underground, he's brought it to the surface. Dick Cheney, covert skullduggery. Donald Trump, overt scumbaggery, right? So we actually have it in our face. And though you'll never hear me say anything bad about our president.
They had a Zoom link, and I finally resorted to that.
Okay, well, I think we need to have even though I am immutable, I'm hoping everybody else is mutable.
I'm working on it. Here we go. We'll find the culprit and scold them. Okay, here we go.
Okay, it's scold. Okay, but that's okay. They can laugh. Laugh.
Audio quality is or not.
Okay, open it up we'll have questions later, okay? But for the moment...
Elaine, it was Elaine. You can get Elaine.
Okay, is that a fast lane or a slow lane? Which lane are you in?
Hi, Elaine. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, but anyway, that's why I actually, I totally get where our president is. You'll never hear me say a bad word about him, because behind every soul that's healed, there is an unhealed soul. And so if there are light workers out there, especially heavy-duty light workers, you recognize that our job is not just to heal souls, but to re-soul heals. And so I have a program for doing exactly that. I call it From A-Hole to B-Hole. Now, I was doing a live performance several months ago in the Midwest, and somebody got very upset. And they came up to me, and they said, I resent you calling our president an asshole. I said, oh, I'm sorry. Are you a Trump supporter? He says, no, I'm an asshole. So I think that we have to honor everybody and all of that. And so it's very important that we recognize that these are very challenging times that we are in. It has been predicted that a great shift will be taking place. And many people are asking, why is this shift happening to me? Well, because shift happens, that's why. And the shift is at the fan, in case you hadn't noticed, the shift is at the fan. And we are being called on at this time of great evolutionary uprising to shift or get off the pot. Shift or get off the pot. Unless, of course, you need pot to shift, then stay on the pot. Because now it has been proven that each of us has these cannabinoid receptor sites in the brain, in the part of the brain called the hippocampus, right? When the hippocampus is stimulated, you see farce fields and laugh at invisible jokes. Yes. And so, of course, I'll answer the question that you have not asked. Yes, I tried it once, but I didn't exhale. It's been quite a while now. And in these very, very challenging times, people are consulting the great mystics on the planet. Now, of course, you know, two kinds of mystics in the world, the optimistics and the pessimistics. Now, pessimists are, of course, they're saying that they're more in touch with reality. But the optimists are happier and live longer. The pessimists are telling us, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. The optimists say, no, it only looks that way because we are ascending. Okay. And so in these times, it's important to have some kind of a spiritual practice, Now, of course, I think it's important to be positive. I have a new program called Just Say No to Negativity. Absolutely no negativity. And in these times where our minds are filled with information, thanks to the mainstream media, our minds are filled with information. We have to clear our minds with that. And so if we are suffering from mindfulness, the idea is to develop a mindfulness practice. So you get mindfulness to empty your mind from mindfulness. That is what we do. I went to a great mindfulness teacher. I was very happy. And he told me that the secret of being mindful, 2 things. Number 1, clear the mind of all thoughts. Number 2, focus on the center of yourself. I did it, and it was absolutely worked. I am now thoughtless and self-centered. Very, very powerful. And so tonight, as my spiritual offering, I have my power animal with me and spirit guide, Bullwinkle. That's right. Because no matter what your problem is, if you channel Bullwinkle to tell people your problems, it sounds funnier. Okay? Right? So let's say everything is locked down, you have no job, and you lost your money. Channel Bullwinkle. Everything is locked down, I have no money, and I lost my job. You see, that's a little bit funnier. A little funnier. And so I have with me my Musafix. You could perhaps see my Musafix. I'm showing it. I'm putting it in the camera here. And see, we have flexible Muslims. Flexible, very flexible. And actually, Jesus came to me in a dream and he asked me to wear this. I said, what does it mean? He said, it means for Christ's sake, lighten up. Because the world is in serious condition, largely because of our conditioning to be serious. Seriously. I mean, take our political system. Condition largely. Please, take our political system, please. Seriously. We have a deeply divided body politic. Half the people believe our system is broken. The other half believe it is fixed. That's what we have. We have been divided into 2 tribes, the red tribe Republicans, blue tribe Democrats, who spend all of their energy arguing about whether it is worse to kill the born or the unborn. And of course, the entire Commonwealth has been stolen by a very, very, very small percentage of the uncommonly wealthy, and the bill has been sent to the not yet born. And so what we need to do is we need to overgrow this two-party system, overgrow the system. We need to bring left and right, front and center, to turn the funk into function and leave the junk at the junction. We need to bring red tribe and blue tribe together in one sacred circle. One sacred circle, red and blue, and talk until they are purple in the face. Because only by standing together as one purple people will the peeps outnumber the perps. If you want to end corporate personhood, we have to create purple peoplehood. And if you want to overgrow big brother, the best way is through bigger brotherhood and sisterhood. We need to come together. So I think you're coming to understand that this political conversation is really a spiritual conversation. I'm just wondering out there, how many of you are involved in some kind of a spiritual practice? You know, actually, I tried so many spiritual paths that I was pathological. No, I'm telling you, I expanded my mind so much I couldn't fit through my door. I had to go to a shrink. No, this is serious. I was addicted to spirit. In fact, I was hitting the source pretty hard in those days. I was, yes. And of course, I'm all recovered now. I wonder if anybody ever's gone to one of those codependency groups. Well, I wanted to go once, but I couldn't find anybody to go with. But when I finally did go, I discovered that I am addicted to chocolate. So not only am I codependent, I am co-codependent. And you know what? They have groups for everybody. There's a group for people who feel like nobodies. Anonymous. They have an unlisted number. You can't find them. And in case there's anybody, I know a very laid-back crowd I'm talking to tonight, but if there's anyone out there who's an overachiever, I have great news. There's a group called Overachievers Anonymous. They have a 24-step program. Now, I have to say, in my spiritual quest, I think I found what has to be the ultimate of all of the recovery groups. It is called Children of Parents. Many people in that one. But they tell you have to hit bottom, and it happened to me. I hit bottom in my spiritual quest. I woke up one morning in a strange biker crash pad, and everything smelled like incense. I looked around me, and the bikers had these orange leather vests and funny ponytails. I went, oh my God, I've become a Harley Krishna. Yeah, you find yourself on a vicious cycle, get off, right? And at that moment, I looked in the mirror and I achieved full realization. I realized I am a fool. And there's nothing to do but that. Because as the old saying goes, laugh at yourself and the whole world will laugh at you too. So since that time, I have been practicing fundamentalism with the accent on the fun. Not to be confused with fundamentalism, accent on the mental. See, the fundamentalists, they say that heaven is above us. The fundamentalists say heaven is where we make it. So, why don't we go for heaven on earth just for the hell of it? Because we are not here to earn God's love, we are here to spend it. We call this supply side spirituality. Be more supplying, less demanding. That is the secret. And as a fundamentalist, I believe that life is a joke, but God is laughing with us, not at us. The creator is watching the comedy channel. We're what's on. And we begin a free choice in life. We get to decide whether or not we laugh. So if you want to be miserable, go right ahead, whatever makes you happy. But I say that you can laugh, that's right. I say underneath all of the stress and distress and sadness in life, there is a deep well of joy. And every time we let laughter bubble up out of that deep well, we experience deep wellness. But sometimes we forget to laugh. I'm wondering, anybody out there ever go a day without laughing? Irregular hilarity. Anybody, you need a good laxative every day. Anybody ever go a week without laughing? You may be suffering from hemorrhoids. Hemorrhoids is an enlargement of the onus, where you have so much, you feel such a sense of responsibility that the only thing you're ever able to pass is heavy judgments. That is what we have, right? So we want none of that. Now, I have a new program because I just found out, this is really important, laughing burns calories. Did you know that? So I have a new program, I'm calling it Laugh Your Ass Off. That's right. We want to lose weight and lose weightiness at the same time. Now, people ask me on the more serious side, particularly given the state of the world, will there ever be peace on earth? And I have great news. There will be peace on earth. I certainly hope we humans are around to enjoy it, because that's the question. Are we going to achieve critical mass before we hit critical massacre? And I have to say that as many of us are coming to realize, peace is an inside job. There are many, many pieces to the puzzle of peace, and each of us brings a piece of the puzzle to the puzzle of peace. A little piece here, a little piece there, and you have one big piece everywhere. But in order to bring that peace, you have to metabolize the residue that has accumulated over many, many, many lifetimes. Yeah. How many people out there, I'm curious, believe in reincarnation? Who believes in reincarnation? I can see you. Raise your hands. Okay, who does not believe in reincarnation? Okay, well, you will in your next lifetime. I promise you that. I promise you that. But over many lifetimes, we've collected a lot of residue. And so we have to find ways to metabolize this. So I have developed a technique. I call it tantrum yoga. Tantrum yoga, where you can use your anchor to heat your home in the wintertime. Tantrum yoga is where you hold your breath until God gives you what you want.
Did you say to heat your house in the
Heat your home
wintertime?
Yeah, that's right. It's the latest rage. Anger is the latest rage. Yes, that's right. On higher consciousness, you can use your anger to heat your home. And the practice is you hold your breath until God gives you what you want. And that is how Krishna turned blue. Did you know that? We're going to be blue Krishna without you. Blue, blue Krishna without you. You know, I have to tell you something. I got this jacket at an Elvis convention, and every time I put it on, Elvis comes out. Now, you probably know that there is actually an Elvis religion. Did you know that? It is called Presbyterianism. It is one of those new light religions. Same satisfying flavor, 1/3 the commandments. Because Elvis asked only 3 things of us. Love me tender, please surrender, return to sender. And you were impressed. I was impressed too. I actually became an Elvis's witness. Yes. Every Saturday night, we would go door to door proselytizing. We would ring the bell. They'd answer the door. We'd say, "Are you lonesome tonight?" And people would go right to Graceland just from that. So there are many, many ways, not just Tantrum Yoga, many ways to achieve inner peace. And one of the ways, this is a very challenging spiritual practice. And when you're frustrated and staying at home and you find yourself agitated, whatever is going on, you have to bless whatever that is. Bless it. That is the key to peace. Bless everything. Driver cuts you off, you have to bless that driver. Bless you. Bless you too. Go bless yourself. No, I'm telling you, it works. I tried it a couple of weeks ago, and the other driver actually gave me half of a peace sign. It's very powerful, very powerful. We got time release laughter. That's good. That's good. And the thing is that we are so used to being in conflict that we're always using these war metaphors. Who remembers the war on poverty? Remember that? Well, it's all over. The poor people surrendered. And you know what? We have a beautiful national anthem. But maybe it's time that we stop affirming bombs bursting in air. Right? We have smart bombs, but people not smart enough to not use them. Yes? And what is with these ramparts? Ramparts sounds very perverse to me. I don't want to be watching those ramparts. I'm telling you, it sounds like a perversion. The only ones that should be watching, I don't care how gallantly they're screaming. I don't want to look at ramparts. The only ones that should be looking at ramparts are sheep, okay? Because we humans have been ramming parts for far too long, and all of this running has gotten us into a rut. Because when you only have aggressive male energy in a country, you know what you have? Stagnation. A stagnation. We need to bring the feminine energy and create a donation. Have them make a donation. And together, we can activate the most underused tool in the toolkit, imagination. Imagination. If we want things to be different, we must first be able to imagine them being different. My guru, Hari Khan Baba, the garment center saint, used to say, life is like a good deli. Even if something isn't on the menu, if enough people order it, they have to make it. They have to make it. And so many people are absorbed right now in the big screen. They're absorbed in the small screen. They're focusing on what is out there in the news. I have to tell you something. Mainstream media is a brainwashing machine stuck on spin. Only one TV news network telling the truth about what they're broadcasting. CBS. CBS. If you want to see BS, they got plenty of BS for you to see. But if you don't like the current programming, turn off your TV and television instead. What is it? I television to you, and you television to me. And then we have healing and functional visions to step into, which brings, which actually is a lot better than what we've been stepping into. Much better. And so I will begin. I will tell my vision. Imagine think tanks where they think about more than tanks. Tanks, but no tanks. Imagine young people living for their country instead of dying for it. I'm going to stretch your imagination. Are you ready? Imagine going to the voting booth and voting for the greater of two goods. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Swami, you're proposing a sane world. You must be crazy. But there's no need to change the world. There is a better way. I say, let's toilet train the world, and we'll never have to change it again. Because our species has left a pretty messy diaper, haven't we? Yes, I think we have. Because we have to make this shift from children of God to adults of good. Children of God, adults of good. We're in that awkward in-between phase called adolescence, because our essence has been addled by toxic beliefs. We turn from fear to love. We begin to choose the power of love over the power of fear. That changes everything. And I've got great news. Love is more powerful than fear. Otherwise, we'd be singing, all you need is fear, right? She fears you, yeah, yeah, yeah. No, we're not singing that. And that's good. So we need to make that shift in our daily life, in our daily practice, moment to moment, from feeding fear to feeding love. And that way we can reverse course from Armageddon and Judgment Day to dis-Armageddon and non-Judgment Day. On non-Judgment Day, everyone will win the beauty contest. On non-Judgment Day, all of the nations at the United Nations will begin their sessions with the hokey pokey. Imagine, the Israelis and the Palestinians, they put their whole selves in. That is commitment. They pull their whole selves out. That is detachment. They turn themselves around. That is transformation. And that's what it's all about. On not, that's right. And so now I'm picking up. I have this. I can hear you laughing. I'll tell you what. I don't know if you can see my receiver here. I am turban powered, and by this little receiver, I can tune in to the field. There is a field of laughter called the farce field. It is the boson layer around the planet that protects us, right? The boson layer keeping us laughing. And keeping our that's right. It's our planetary clown chakra. You got it exactly, yes. And so I can actually pick up laughter from this field. And so I know when you're laughing, and that is really, really good. Laughter is very powerful. I also know, in tuning into who's there, that this is a very, very evolved group of people. And you all recognize that each of us already has all of the answers within, right? It's matching them with the corresponding questions. That is the challenge. And so if you have an answerable question for the Swami will have a questionable answer for you. Now, my associate Jeff, another turban-powered character, I know that you've been calling questions. You're calling for questions. People may be posting these questions on the Facebook page. They may be sending them in. They may be beaming them in through the psychic forces and psychic means. And so, are there any questions? And by the way, if there's something out there, people, that is puzzling you, ask the Swami and have it puzzle both of us, okay?
So everybody, here we have our chat box on Zoom. Type in a question that you would like the Swami to answer. He's got cosmic intelligence that nobody else has in this room here, and he will be sure to bring your answer so far home that you'll be able to take it to the bank. So I don't see any questions here, but I do see one question on Facebook. and it's by Paul Bott. Do you know Paul Bott?
I don't know him yet, but I bet I will.
He says, "What is this?"
What is this? What is this? Well, I think is it not a chat box?
Well, it could be. It could be, but that's his question.
Oh, he says, "What is this?" Oh, I know. He landed on the spot and doesn't know that about Swami Beyondenanda, the cosmic comic. He does not know about cosmic comic consciousness, which is my path that I want to share with everybody. Cosmic comic consciousness. That is what this is. Now, there are 4 principles to cosmic comic consciousness, and it is based on the notion of the great paradox. The world is in serious condition, and yet there's something funny going on. So cosmic comic consciousness, step 1, the mantra, it's a joke, laugh. It's a joke, laugh. If you're able to see the comedy in a new word, situation, you can actually clean it up and clear it up, and you can actually begin laughing and heal yourself. Remember, there is often an aha behind every ha-ha, an insight. Laughter takes us from the static of the head to the ecstatic of the heart. And as you know, the more we expand our heart, the less we're going to need to shrink our head. Step 1. Step 1 is it's a joke laugh. Step 2, we call it self-facing laughter. Lovingly laugh in your own face. If you can laugh in your own face, you can laugh in the face of any difficulty. Laughing in your own face helps you release the grip of the ego. And of course, I have a mantra to help you release the ego. Would you like to learn the mantra? Very simple.
Yeah, sure. Come on.
Ego, egoing, egon. Just like that. Or you can take the shortcut and simply use mental floss. Mental floss. 4 out of 5 transcendentalists recommend mental floss to relieve truth decay. Like that. So that is number 2. You're laughing in your own face. Self-facing laughter. Number 3, find the joke hidden in the picture. We call this pumping ironies. Pumping ironies. That is when something is an oxymoron, and we want to make it more oxymoronic. We want to make it so exaggerated that everybody gets it. So here's an oxymoron. Holy war in the Holy Land. Holy cow pie, Batman. Finally, 4th principle, commit random acts of comedy. Commit random acts of comedy. Spread the power of laughter. Proliferate laughter and love. It's like loaves and fishes. One person can come into a room with a joke, and 1,000 can live with it. And that is how we raise the laugh force on the planet. Laugh force. We have another question.
We do have another question, Swami. We have a question here that is, let's see here. We have a question. When did the first laugh happen in human history? I was going to say sistery, but in human history, and what caused it?
When did the first laugh happen? Well, you know, this.
And that was from Barbara Lovejoy. Thank you, Barbara.
Oh, and I'm glad that we all love joy, and thank you for naming that, Barbara. We like you. We like you. We love you, and we love your joy. Thank you for being on the call. When was the first laugh? Well, you know, I think the first laugh happened when the first caveman ran into the cave right ahead of the saber-toothed tiger and escaped the danger. And the laughter was release of that energy. There was a release of all that tension. And so the purpose of laughter since that time has been to simultaneously release the tension and create the space of no thought in between. Laughter and jokes are a very, very powerful way to stop the mind and to stop the dualities of the mind. Have you ever wondered why jokes come in 3? A minister, a priest, and a rabbi. Why 3? A minister, a priest, and a rabbi are discussing their legacy. How do they want to be remembered? What do they want the eulogist to be saying when they're laying in their coffin? The minister says, well, I want them to be saying he was a family man and a pillar of his community. The priest said, I want people to be saying he was a holy man and a leader of his flock. The rabbi says, I want them to be saying, look, I think he's breathing. So what happens with a joke is that the joke always shows the third way, the third possibility. So going back to the earliest laugh and the first job of the laugh is to release the tension. And then secondly, in that space, something new, a new idea, a creative idea emerges, and that is the power of laughter.
We have another question from Hannah. How can we solve climate change?
Well, pardon me. Could I have a drink of water, please? I'm calling for water. Water? Water, water, water? Water! Water! Trudy, water! Okay. Hold on. I have to get water.
We're live TV, everybody, and
I need water. I need water. That's part of climate change. We are going to have plenty of water.
So everybody, we're with Steve Behrman today and Swami Beyondenanda. Thank you for our first comedy show. We needed this, everybody. This has been such a tight time that we've been in, going to the market, going to Costco. It just is so
But I have
stressful.
to answer her question. You have to let me answer her question. I just needed water. That's all. That's
okay. Here we go. All right. It's all about Swami, everybody.
I know you have an answerable question. I have to have a questionable answer.
Here comes Swami.
Climate change. Okay, climate change. Well, you know what? Nature always has a way of balancing things out. Think of it this way. For the past several generations, obviously the planet has become warmer. On the other hand, every generation of kids are cooler than their parents. That is a natural way of thinking. The other thing is that one of the reasons why things are getting so warm is because there's so many of us. There's overpopulation. And I think that the solution to the overpopulation problem is very simple. Multiple personalities. I think that's really the way to go. I read about a man who has 12 personalities, and I went, wow, 12 personalities in one body. Now that's efficiency. If we had more people like that, we'd need fewer people. And so in order to bring about this climate change, the positive climate change, what we need is political climate change. We need political climate change. We need to have warmer hearts and cooler heads. And that is what will help humanity solve its part of that problem.
We have another question that is from Carol Dawn. Is there humor in hopelessness?
Is there humor in hopelessness? There's humor in everything. You know, there was a book that I read, this is serious now, called Laughter in Hell, and it was about humor in the Holocaust. And it told a story about Viktor Frankl, who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning. And Viktor Frankl said that one of the things that kept them alive in the death camps, he and a fellow inmate made a pact that every day they would find something to laugh about. Because that gave them the protection, their spiritual protection, that there was a part of them that could not be imprisoned. And to give you an idea of how powerful this was, one of the jokes that actually circulated inside the camps involved these two Jewish guys who decide that they are going to assassinate Hitler. Well, they know that Hitler's motorcade is going to pass a certain intersection at 11 in the morning, and they're waiting for him. He doesn't show up. 11:15, 11:30, he's not there. When he's not there by 11:45, one of the assassins turns to the other and says, gee, I hope nothing's happened to him. So if you can joke in a situation like that, then you're able to lift yourself out. Remember, gravity is a downer, levity lifts ourselves up. And you know what? You don't even have to joke. All you have to do is a simple exercise. Turn the corners of your mouth like this and a smile, even if you don't feel like it. This is called the levitational pull. We're being pulled up by levity. Because what happens is when you move your muscles in that way, your body thinks you're happy, and you actually create happiness hormones and anti-stress hormones circulating through your body. So if you're feeling hopeless, remember, it is only a feeling. You're bigger than that feeling. And when you rise through levity, you see things from a higher perspective.
We have another question, and it is from Ellen, Elaine or Ellen. What would you say to the COVIDs who refuse to take any precautions to slow down the spread of the virus and keep endangering others?
What would you say to those people? Stop it! No, actually, I think that there's two ways of looking at this, like there's many ways of looking at it. And it may be that there is a herd immunity that would happen where we're not shut down, and if we protected just the most vulnerable people. There is an argument that says that might be the way to go. I think that there's been so much people yelling about socialism and socialism. I think that the counter reaction has been anti-socialism. And so what we're seeing in a certain regard of people defying authority is not really willing to recognize that we're all one with the same one, that we're all connected. And my associate, Bruce Lipton, we were spontaneous evolution. The next phase of human evolution is recognizing that we're all cells in the same body. And we have 50 trillion cells underneath our skin, and they all get along. They all get along. We have universal health care. We have full employment. We have no cell left behind. And the organs cooperate with one another. You never hear about the liver invading the pancreas, demanding the islets of Langerhans. You never hear that. You never hear that happening. So what I'm saying is that when we all recognize that we're connected, we begin to naturally do what's best for each and all. Now, the reason why many of these people are objecting and protesting is because the authorities that are in authority have not proven themselves to be trustworthy, And that is a problem, that we have people know that they've been lied to. And so they are not willing to believe the authorities when they say we need to shut down and do this. So the way that we have more trusted government and more trusted governance is that governance has to be more trustworthy. And it doesn't help to have a liar in chief. It doesn't really help to have that. It's like that song. The words he says are so untrue. You want to set his pants on fire. That sort of thing. Come on, baby, fight my liar. And that's what we have. We have that. And so what we really need is we need to meet together, heart to heart to heart to heart, so that we come front and center to face the music and dance together. And that is beyond the two political parties, beyond the two ideologies and idiotologies and ways of thinking. The heart is bigger than the belief system. That's what I'm saying. Beliefs, the truth lives in your heart. Beliefs lie in your head. And people have had this feeling that somebody's been lying in their heads and they don't believe something even when it's true.
Oh, Swami, is the circle the sacred shape, Antonia?
The circle, the sacred shape, it used to be the square. It used to be the square. All of that circle dancing you see, the circle dancing, all in the ancient times, it all used to be square dancing. and then somebody decided to cut some corners, and there we have it.
Oh, Swami, can this really be the end? To be stuck inside my house with the endless blues again, from Rick.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know. That's really a terrible thing. That's good. You're channeling Dylan. I have to tell you something. How many people out there love Bullwinkle? You're speaking of Dylan. Bullwinkle, back in the day when he was around in the late, 50 years ago, he loved rock music, and his unfulfilled passion was to be a great rock star like Elvis. And so, would it be okay, because Bullwinkle is always with me, is my musifix, would it be okay if I channeled Bullwinkle to channel his favorite Elvis song? Would that be okay?
Go, man, go.
Okay. Okay, go like this. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down on the end of Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. Where they be so lonely, where they be so lonely, where they be so lonely they could die. Right? Okay? And here we come to Bob Dylan, because Bullwinkle, as much as he loved Elvis, he loved Dylan more. And so now I'm going to channel Bullwinkle channeling Elvis and Dylan at the same time. Are you ready?
Right.
I don't think you're ready, but I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm ready.
Like
Everybody, get ready.
Okay. Well, since my baby left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down on the Lonely Street at Heartbreak Hotel. Where they be so lonely, where they be so lonely, where they be so lonely, they could die.
Okay, Swami, we have another question here. Who's going to win for president in 2020?
Well, I hate to disappoint you. I don't make predictions. Because I don't want to jeopardize my nonprofit status. That's why. And besides, in California where I live, there's a new law, you won't believe this, you can actually sue your psychic. You can sue your psychic. Here's how it works. If you're a sucker for a seer, and what the seer sees sucks, you can redress your grievance in a seer-sucker suit. That's how it works. Yes. And, this is a universe of infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. They try to predict the weather, right? One little butterfly fart, and everything changes. So, to me, the greatest wisdom about predictions was delivered by the great philosopher and center fielder Willie Mays, who is being interviewed by Howard Cosell many years ago. I will channel the interview for you. It went like this. We're talking with Willie Mays. Willie, let me ask you this. Will the Giants win the pennant this year, Willie Mays? And Willie Mays said, I don't know, Howard. That's what we're going to spend the season to find out. You see? And so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. It is not yet decided who is going to win. So what is much more important than prediction is focused intention. This is a time in the history of our body politic that we are dealing with a tremendous sociopathogen. So what we need to do is we need to gather all together and de-elect the misleader. That is first step. But in order to restore trust to government, we have to create a new institution of society. And I have a domain that I have created called Independent Citizens United, or ICU. ICU. For citizens who intensively care what is going on. And we need to bring people together to have conversations about purpose, so that we gather around the 90%, the things that 90% of us who are not sociopaths believe. We want government of the people, by the people, for the people, where the government does our bidding, not the bidding of the highest bidder. Now we have two political parties in this country. We have the Democratic Party and the undemocratic Party. And the problem with the Democratic Party, the Republican Party, I have to be blunt, they've sold their souls to the devil. Democrats, totally different. They've just rented their souls to the devil, right? And so we have to recapture that Democratic Party and make it democratic. And we have to change it from the party of identity politics to the party of identical politics. We're all focused on the same identical issues that all human beings face. Clean air, clean food, clean water, clean government. Right?
All you need is love.
And that is all that you need. That is the beginning. Love is the beginning of everything. And that is the politics of the heart. We don't need homeland security. We need heartland security, because our true security is in the land of the heart. That's right.
I know you're bipartisan here and not wanting to make any predictions, but I have a question that could be one of the best questions of the night. Oh, Swami from
They think I'm Irish. That's good. Oh, Swami.
Oh, Swami, how I love you, how I love you. From Shandara Eka. Okay, Jill, Flo. Okay. Oh, Swami, what is the holiest ice cream flavor?
Oh my God.
My favorite question of the night.
Oh my God. What is the holiest ice cream flavor? Okay, I give up. What's the answer?
There's no answer from her here. You got to get it. Come on, man. You're the answer man. The answer man.
Oh, the holiest. This is what they call a Zen koan. A Zen koan is an unsolvable puzzle that is designed to stop the mind.
It could be a sugar cone.
Well, I think that. Well, it could be that, but I would say that that it's chocolate chip.
Chocolate chip. Yay!
Chocolate chip.
Yay! That deserves somebody to roll a fat one, you know. So I got a question. We're in a time of legal cannabis. Things are happening, and all these states, we have 33 states that are legal, and we have more states that have medical and everything like that. What is your prediction about global and about marijuana becoming completely legal and back in action? What is your question?
Well, you know, I have to say something. I have to say that it's much more than marijuana. It is agricultural industrial hemp. And that has been made illegal because of the marijuana issue. And marijuana is just a smokescreen because hemp is the product that restores the economy, that renews the ecology, and it grows like a weed. And so instead of having the kind of toxic agriculture that we have right now, we can be growing hemp. Anything that can be made or eaten or smoked can be grown through hemp. Now, it's important to recognize that hemp and marijuana have to be kept separate. They like being separated because the marijuana gets depotentized when it's in contact with the hemp. We need to be growing all of that together. And I think I would certainly think that it is absolutely insane that there are people who are in prison for doing something with this natural product that has always been used as an entheogen. An entheogen is something that helps you see God. And my God, goodness gracious, we need to see God more, right? So if anything helps people see God, that is it. It has been used throughout American history. The Declaration of Independence was written on hemp, and many of them might have been on hemp when they wrote it. Did you know that George Washington used smoking cannabis to help him with the pain of his wooden false teeth? Did you know that? He was the first to transcend dental medication back in the day. So I think we're on the right track. And these marijuana plants, they are rooting for us.
I agree totally, 100%. Nobody should be in jail for a plant, and if
the plant was planted on them, that could be true. That a plant could have been planted on them, and they were in jail for that reason.
Well, it's actually it's time to stop the war drug. It's the war on people, and we're here, everybody, with Swami Beyondenanda, and I'm going to unmute us in a second so we can talk. But I have one last question here. I believe here. Let's unpin me here. I have one last question. It says, many suspect that we are in a large simulation and that our job is to wake up inside the passing show. What do you think?
Oh, that's right. That is exactly what's true. The whole world is a stage, just a stage we're passing through. Exactly. And so the way that we awaken, we wake up laughing. You know, this is what the uprising. I'll leave you with the uprising. Wake up, wise up, grow up, show up. Wake up laughing. It's a joke. Laugh. Wise up, loving. Love is the power that brings us together. We are all one with the same one, the universal oneness. The universe has us surrounded. Might as well surrender. Grow up from children of God to adults of good. Show up. for the greatest show on earth, the greatest reality show ever, reality. And here we are. We are in the greatest movie ever made. This is a phenomenal passage where we all where it's a hero's journey and we're in the hero's road. We have the opportunity to act together in one accord and to heal human history and evolve into the beings that our spiritual teachers told us we could be. That is our job. Laughter is a beginning. Laughter is a beginning because it shakes loose all of the rigidity of our lives. One more thing. There are people who dismiss the idea of laughter. They go, well, I'll tell you something. There was an experiment that was done years ago. They took a group of college students, put them in a room with hilarious comedy videos. Took another group, put them in a different room, made the other group memorize Croatian parables, and gave them an electric shock every time they made a mistake, and the results were conclusive. The ones watching comedy had more fun. There you go. So I'll leave you with that. And by the way, something else from physiology, I just read this. Physiologically, laughter is a lot like orgasm. So thank you for coming, everybody. May the force be with you.
I'm going to unmute everybody now. I'm unmuting you one by one, everybody. So the bonus is that you can meet and greet and talk to Steve yourself. You can unmute yourselves, everybody, if you wish here. And here we go. I'm unmuting everybody.
Shall I change it to my other costume?
No, you're great there. Everybody unmute themselves. We're unmuting everybody. Here we go.
We're immutable.
Come on.
Okay, well, it's good to see your faces.
Come on in, everybody. Here we go. Okay, say hi to Swami, everybody.
Hey, Swami. Hello.
Hi. Hi.
I'm so glad you're here.
Very.
Turn on the lights.
We're there.
I love it. Oh, look at them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh,
Very good.
This is all part of the new wave. The new wave. Yes, it is.
I'm so glad that you all joined us tonight. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful to have you all here laughing with Steve, and in our social distancing, we're going to have a show every Saturday night at 7:30. Next week, we'll have Ash Divine, and last week we had a cacao ceremony. But Steve, give Steve a round of applause, everybody. And any final questions for Steve? Any live final questions? Come on, break one out, everybody.
What? You're putting them on the spot now. I'm the one that's on the spot. Okay.
I had one which I put on the chat. Is this a coming?
Is this a coming? It is actually, this is the real second coming, where all the people in the world come together and humanity achieves a satisfying climax.
That's right. We'll be dancing in the streets.
They'll be dancing in the streets. They'll be dancing in the street. It'll be dancing in the street, yes.
Swami.
Yes.
How did you get on this path?
Actually, I've been on the path for a long time, and I'll tell you something. If you're on the path, you have to watch very carefully where you step. And that's why I'm writing a new book about being on the path. It's called Looking Out for Number 2. Yes. So I promise to take off my shoes when I come to your house.
Practically disappeared down here.
What are you doing? Zooming for peace? Zooming for understanding.
Okay. Well, you're presuming that. Yes, that's good.
When we had a Passover Seder, we called it the Zeder. We all Zoomed on Passover, and we called it the Zeder.
The Zeder. Okay. Well, I think I'll just pass over that. But if you have another question, I still have several answers left.
I haven't used them up yet. See if we can find the right question, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the right question. Ask me if I'm psychic.
Yeah.
Psychic.
I knew you were going to ask that question.
You.
Humor judgment.
What about humor judgment?
Humor judgment.
Why do men have nipples?
Well, now that is I hear you tittering about that one. Why do men have nipples? I'll tell you why. Because men's nipples are actually decoys to attract other nipples.
Men have nipples. They're decoys to attract other nipples.
What else could it possibly be?
Oh, God.
Zooming is very interesting.
So if men could have the milk of humankind.
Oh, that's right.
And
In
then
smaller containers, let's say.
and there's different flavors.
That's probably true, especially with all the chemicals in our food. That's no doubt true.
Well, there's chocolate milk, and then there's vanilla.
Yeah, there's probably vanilla.
Zooming.
Okay. Anybody else have a question? I take my final samadhi. Everybody.
Swami, I have a question.
Okay.
How I love you, my dear old Swami. What do you think about us opening up our restaurants again?
Well, I think restaurants should be open, but people will have to eat wearing masks. That should be very interesting. So they'll have special intravenous sections in the restaurants while people are wearing their masks. You know, I think as I said earlier, I think that there might be something to this herd immunity, and if we're going to be herded around like we're being herded around now, that perhaps that's something that's worth trying, and recognize that probably that one of the aspects of this pandemic is to create enough fear to for people to want to be locked down or being willing to be locked down, and be vaccinated forcibly, etc. Ultimately, and I think it's very, very important that we recognize that we humans do have the right to choose, and we have the right to choose what goes into our bodies. Whether it's injected, whether it's eaten, or whether it comes from somebody else's organ, right? We have the right to choose what goes into our bodies. And there are people, maybe people who are involved with this artificial intelligence who have totally forgotten what real intelligence is about. Mm-hmm. And they want to live in a post-human world. They want to get rid of all the messy stuff that human beings have, like love, like making mistakes, like learning. And they think they know more than God. They think they know more than creation. And it is a very silly and very obsolete, and new word, obsolethal way of thinking. And so over this next period of time, may the human spirit triumph over these artificially unintelligent beings.
Well, we're so honored to have everybody on board.
Human world, oh geez.
Oh yeah, we're so honored to have everybody on board, and that you got to enjoy some laughter tonight. Keep the laughter happening, ha ha ha, and keep it big, everybody. Anytime you want to replay this, it's on our brown paper tickets forever. And you can replay it for your friends. You can go watch it tomorrow for everybody. And
and did we say that there's actually a tip jar?
There is a tip.
Absolutely. And money. And you know that everybody is concerned about the economy these days. And so one of my pledges is that any money that I get will be spent in the economy. So that's very, very important. That is my pledge. So you know it's going to be circulated very quickly. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Namaste.
Namaste.
And namas go. See you later.
Namaste.
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 Go.
What? Oh, namaste.
Howie?
May the force be with you.
Yeah, that's how he signs things off, is may the force be with you. I just think that's,
Namaste.
namaste.
And I say, everybody, thank you so much for joining the Living Room Tapes. And no mistake, namaste.
Namaste.
But
Okay, doke.
you can do a chat. You can look at the chat spot.
Thank you, everybody. That was really great. And that's it. That's our show for tonight. Come back.
That's all, folks.
Neek.
It's hard to say goodbye.
Oh, we're here. We're still here. This is the after party.
I don't know if you know that there are breatharians out there. Did you know that? People who live on breath alone. Did you know that?
Yes.
They can't break bread, unfortunately, but they can still break wind. Did you know that?
We can.
That's good. Well, I have a higher plane to catch, so I'm off to the next galaxy.
www. That's all, folks.
Okay. We'll see you at the next time, and thank you so much for laughing with me or at me. I don't care. Bye-bye. Good, I'll get my bumper car.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Swami. I'll talk to you in the morning. Love you. Love you, everybody. I had lots of fun tonight, everybody. That was really good. And there's me with my beautiful glasses. And love you so much, everybody, for dropping in and for supporting us. And all you know is have a great weekend and remember to laugh. Swami says, shake your buns and you'll have abundance.